Right now on the CBS3 News Live at 5, jury selection is delayed in the trial of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd. We bring you the latest updates on the trial. Plus, back to school. Duluth secondary students return to school for the first time in a year today. We hear from students about the return. And as vaccines are ramping up around the country, the CDC is now offering guidance for those who have been vaccinated.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Good evening. I'm John Cardinale. Thanks for joining us. Kristen is off tonight. Jury selection is now delayed at least a day in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. He's accused of killing George Floyd. In May of 2020, Chauvin was seen on cell phone video kneeling on Floyd's neck for more than 8 minutes. Chauvin faces charges of second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter, and a judge is considering reinstating a third-degree murder charge against him as well, which is why jury selection has been delayed tonight. CBS News correspondent Michael George is in Minneapolis and reports the proceedings today have brought heavy security and demonstrations to the city.
Unless any of the parties object, I'm going to kick our jurors loose.
The weeks-long process of picking jurors in the trial of Derek Chauvin is pushed off until at least Tuesday.
We remain concerned about the court proceeding with matters.
The court is first dealing with an appeal over the possible reinstatement of a third-degree murder charge against the former Minneapolis police officer. Chauvin is already facing charges of second-degree murder and manslaughter after pressing his knee into George Floyd's neck for about 9 minutes, holding the position even after he went limp.
Hundreds of peaceful protesters have taken to the streets, and separating them in the courthouse, barricades, barbed wire, and the National Guard.
The death of an unarmed black man at the hands of police sparked protests across the world over officer brutality and race relations.
Are you hopeful that justice will be served?
I'm skeptical just because, history shows, but, I'm going to try my best to show support and hopefully they'll do the right thing.
I'm hoping for the best, but I don't know if I have enough confidence.
Potential jurors answered questionnaires to determine how much they knew about the case and their opinions about protests. They'll be interviewed individually, and the judge, defense attorney, and prosecutor will all get to ask questions. Once selected, the jury will be escorted to the court and sequestered during deliberations. Opening arguments are slated for March 29th. Michael George, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Number 5.
And this morning, Governor Tim Walz commented on the trial, saying he believes the state's justice system will carry out its mission. He added that it's important to give people the chance to safely express their opinions and to make sure those who do want to cause damage don't have the chance to do so. Walz says it's time to show the world Minnesota is having tough conversations.
We're not afraid to look inward, understand that we've got work to do around race, we've got work to do around public safety, and this will give us a chance to show them that.
Walz encouraged people to talk to their friends and neighbors and have conversations that aren't easy. Law enforcement leaders thanked the crowd that gathered in Minneapolis today for staying peaceful. Members from state and local police and public safety departments gathered for an update on Operation Safety Net, and that's the effort to ensure violence doesn't break out during the trial. According to officials, there's currently no credible threat to the trial or the Twin Cities area. They're working with local community and church groups to ensure everyone has their voice heard, and say today's demonstration showed people can do that safely.
We can have large gatherings, and we can do so with them being peaceful. And so for all of you who participated in your First Amendment constitutional right, we want to say thank you for doing that peacefully.
And right now, there are about 100 Minnesota National Guard soldiers deployed in Minneapolis, helping with security around the government center. The number of law enforcement officers is expected to ramp up once the trial gets close to a verdict. And while cameras are not typically allowed in Minnesota courtrooms in an unprecedented decision, Chauvin's trial is being streamed live. And you could watch the entire trial on Court TV. That's channel 3.4 on KDLH for over-the-air viewers. And we'll also be streaming it on our website and Facebook page. Switching gears now to the latest in coronavirus news. As the pandemic nears the one-year mark, vaccinations are ramping up around the country. And because of this, the CDC is now putting out new guidelines. If you're fully vaccinated, you can now gather inside with other vaccinated people without a mask or social distancing. Federal health officials with the CDC announced the recommendations today. They also say vaccinated people can gather with people at low risk for severe disease, such as vaccinated grandparents visiting healthy grandchildren. Officials say a person is considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after receiving the last required dose. Only about 9% of the U.S. population has been fully vaccinated so far. And these new guidelines come as President Biden's American Rescue Plan is back in the House for a final vote. The bill includes $1,400 stimulus checks for many Americans, and voting on the plan is expected tomorrow or Wednesday. So far, no Republican has voted in support. And according to the governor's office, more than 90% of Minnesota school districts and charter schools are now offering some form of in-person learning. In February, the governor updated the state's plan to allow all middle and high school students to return to hybrid or in-person learning. And as of Saturday, Walls reported nearly 55% of Minnesota's educators, school staff, and child care providers have received a COVID-19 vaccine. Back here in Duluth, though, it's not every year students go back to the classroom for the first time in March, but the current pandemic has certainly made that a reality. But starting today, some of Duluth middle and high school students got to learn from inside the building. CBS3's Kendall Jarbo was at Denfield High School as staff welcomed back students for the first time in almost a year.
In any year, going back to school is an exciting time for students. For Duluth secondary learners, this is the first time they're stepping foot inside the building after a full year of distance learning. Duluth schools welcomed back 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for hybrid learning Monday. Cheers rang through the halls of Denfield High with teachers, staff, and students participating in Day 1 festivities. For 9th graders, this is the first time being in the building. For the class of 2021, they'll have just a few months of in-person learning before their graduation at the end of the semester.
We haven't been back in a year. No. Over a year. So it's just so weird, but I'm also really excited to be back. But I was really nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, what is it going to be like to be back in this building?
As Duluth schools continue with hybrid roll-in, Denfield High is doing what they can to build Hunter pride and make up for lost time. Students in the remaining grades will get their turn for in-person learning starting next week.
Thanks, Kendall. And right now, secondary students get 2 half-days of in-person learning, but Duluth schools are working to increase that number to 4 days later this month. Distance learning still remains an option for anyone who wants it. We're going to get a quick look at weather now with Dave. Dave, you got a beautiful picture there of the sunrise this morning.
Yeah, that's our good friend John Dahlman from Floodwood. He gets up early. He takes great pictures of the beautiful scenes that warm spells like this will deliver upon your region. Well, we get one more day of the warm spell, and it may be the warmest of the bunch, but then by midweek we will start to cool down once again, and we'll start to get our first precip chance in a long time. Doppler satellite map right now shows the last in a long line of high-pressure cells still with us. So it was a sunny day today. Tomorrow the clouds will increase. So we take a live look now at what's going on around Ash Lake up in between Cook and International Falls, and you can see the warm spell has melted a lot of the snow from the side of Highway 53. Come midweek, there's a chance we could replenish that just a little bit. Our short-term forecast says it'll be partly cloudy tonight and warm tomorrow, but the clouds build in. Up north around International Falls, precip could begin tomorrow there, and then it fills into the rest of us for Wednesday. I'll talk about how much could come across and where the temperatures will tumble afterwards in just a few more minutes.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, a portion of a local dog park is temporarily closed starting today. Why the closure is needed coming up as we go around the Northland, city by city.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki. And weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS3.
During Home's preferred customer event, get an extra 10% off sale prices on any purchase, including bedroom, dining room, living room, and more. And free no-contact shipping. Hurry, the preferred customer event ends Wednesday, only at Home Furniture.
We're working hard to provide you with an improved DTA experience. With the Transit app, see your route in real time, get notifications, plan your trip, and more in one convenient place. And that's just one way we're building a better DTA.
Funerals can be emotionally devastating for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the high cost of arranging a funeral. Funeral Advantage was formed to help protect your family when they need it most. It pays your loved ones up to $20,000 immediately for funeral and any other expenses.
It's a good feeling to know that my family will be taken care of if anything happens to me.
Funerals can easily cost $9,000 or more, but government benefits pay only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the rest.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions. This is so affordable, even for someone like me who's on a fixed income.
If you're 40 to 85, get information on how to protect your family. Funeral Advantage is something we all need. There's no risk or obligation. Call now.
Get the facts about how easy it is to protect your family. There's no risk or obligation. Don't wait. Call the number on your screen now.
Coming up Tuesday on CBS3 this morning, the latest updates as the murder trial kicks off for the former officer who killed George Floyd.
And we've got 50s in store again for Tuesday, as well as a midweek system.
So make sure to tune in at 5 a.m.
Welcome to CBS This Morning. We have a lot of news today.
Watch Gail King, Anthony Mason, and Tony DeCopel on CBS This Morning. Weekday mornings only on CBS. Now at Home Sleep Express, get no interest financing on any Tempur-Pedic for 6 years. Plus, Home will give you a bonus $300 shopping card, free delivery, setup, and a 120-day comfort guarantee. No interest financing on Tempur-Pedic for 6 years at Home Sleep Express.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over the city of Duluth tonight, and it was just a beautiful day out there. Great weather. Dave will be in just a few minutes to give us the forecast, but first, let's take a look around the region. It's been about a week and a half since K9 Luna was killed in the line of duty, and over the weekend, a local youth basketball team honored her. How they remembered Luna's legacy and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. And we begin this Monday night in Wisconsin, where the Department of Workforce Development is launching a new service to connect Wisconsinites with workforce programs in their area. The new Directory of Workforce Services provides users with an interactive map that shows county-by-county information on local services and opportunities. There are resources for those who are unemployed, veterans, youth, those looking for new job training, and more. There is also access to workshops and connections to career planners. You can find the webpage online at wisconsinjobcenter.org. And next, we head over to the west side of Duluth, where a portion of the Keene Creek Dog Park will be temporarily closed starting today. Approximately 2/3 of the large dog area will be closed to allow for turf seating to establish and stabilize. The rest of the large dog area and small dog area will still be open. Improvements to the Keene Creek Dog Park will continue throughout spring, and additional closures may be required. And we wrap up tonight in Hermantown, where a local youth boys basketball team kept alive the memory of K9 Luna at their state tournament over the weekend. The Hermantown 4th grade team wore armbands with Luna's name written on them to share their respect for Luna and the Duluth Police Department. 2 fathers of boys on the team work for the DPD, and their teammates wanted their friends to know they were supported. The team went 2-2 in the tournament, and coaches and parents were proud of how the team represented the Northland. And if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email, and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, the long-anticipated Spirit Mountain Task Force is set to share their findings very soon. More on what you can expect to hear in just a few minutes.
Our warm spell continued today. High temp 51 at the airport in Duluth, 5 degrees shy of the record of 56 from 1977. But we take one more shot at that record come tomorrow with another day of potential mid-50s here for the Duluth area. Could be close to 60 for others, and then that house of weather cards goes toppling down on Wednesday when we cool down and get a chance for a rain-snow mix. We'll talk about all of this right after the break.
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help.
With over 40 filtration systems, including the world's best softener, no one filters more than Culligan water. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
You already know that Carey Toyota in Superior is a great place to buy and service your vehicle, but we have a lot more to offer every driver and not just people with Toyotas. We have the Yakima line of products for the adventure seekers, including roof racks, bike and kayak racks, and cargo carriers. We also have running boards, bed steps, and Axis brand tonneau covers like I put on my truck. And for those of you who like a clean vehicle, we have professional detailing services and all-weather floor liners from Toyota and WeatherTech. Carey Toyota in Superior. We have something for every driver.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact and subcompact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance-matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, get 0 down and 0% APR for 60 months, plus save up to $1,000.
No one serves you better than Bullet Gentleman.
Stone Countertop Outlet has thousands of slabs in stock. Every single one has a high-res photo online, making virtual design consultations easy. Visit stonecountertopoutlet.com or our new Superior showroom.
Get your Crestlander boat at RJ Sporting Center.
Coming up tonight at 6, secondary students in Duluth hit the classroom for the first time in a year today. What their experience was like.
And our experience with temperatures crashed into the 50s for a lot of towns. I'll talk about how long they're expected to stick around.
Road to the Grammys, only on CBS This Morning.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, high temperatures today were among the warmest of the batch here of this long warm spell we've had. That warm spell come courtesy of 3 cells of high pressure. We're on the 3rd one right now, so this isn't going to last forever. We'll spike tomorrow temperature-wise, but then clouds will increase. That leads us to some precip on Wednesday, and then temperatures cool by Thursday. But today, look at that, 55 in Superior, 51 for Hermantown, 54 International Falls, and 55 towards Hayward, and even 49 degrees in Watersmeet, still almost 20 degrees warmer than normal. Tomorrow, maybe some records will tumble before the cool down comes. And we'll talk about that and the chance for a rain-snow mix in a little more detail after a shot here at these current conditions from Duluth International Airport. It's 51, 32% the relative humidity, so warm and dry. Westerly winds going 5 miles per hour, and our air pressure's high at 30.2 inches of mercury. But again, our first low in a week or so is coming to call on Wednesday to change things up cloud-wise and temperature-wise. 49, still the current temp for our friends in Watersmeet. 50 in Ironwood, and northern Wisconsin numbers go from 51 in Ashland to 55 in Hayward. And in between, we have Superior at 54, which is a reading shared with Moose Lake. 54 is also found in Silver Bay. 50 straight up from Ely through Tower Sedan into Virginia, Eveleth, and it perks up a bit towards Hibbing Chisholm at 52. Goes to 53 by Grand Rapids, and we also have low 50s border country. Low temps tonight likely will be pretty warm into the 30s, probably above the freezing mark even, so the warm spell continues one more day. Doppler map right now shows higher pressure in control once again. It's the 3rd in that long line, that wall of high pressure that we've had since last week, but we can see the wall starting to tumble down a little bit here as clouds and a couple of rain showers are starting to peak out of North Dakota and slide themselves into northwestern Minnesota. So that's courtesy of a low pressure system that's going to be coming our way for northern Minnesota, perhaps as early as midnight tonight, but for the rest of us, it's Wednesday when this chance for the mix comes into the area. And when it does get here, precip totals aren't going to be horrendous. Ooh, no, actually, they've perked up since the last time I've looked. Now this model is indicating anywhere from about 1 to 6 inches. So at this stage of the game, we're all over the board. It could go a little bit heavy through Minnesota. It could stay on the lighter side like in Wisconsin. We will keep you abreast of the situation as it continues to change until it gets right on top of us. Well, tonight in Minnesota, we're looking for low temps in the 30s, increasing clouds with border drizzle possible after midnight. For Wisconsin and Michigan, a partly cloudy sky with low temps anywhere from 30 to 35. Our forecast then for tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, 56 to 59 degrees with increasing clouds and windy too, south wind 10 to 20. Minnesota should run from 48 near Grand Marais to 59 down towards Moose Lake. Partly sunny sky for most of the zone, though along the border some rain showers could pop up. And that's because the low pressure system's coming in, which brings us a 60% chance for a rain-snow mix on Wednesday. And then from warm temperatures, we tumble down to 40. And then the low already goes away, John, by Thursday, and sunshine returns, but the warmer temperatures do not. The rest of the week, we ride out highs in the 30s, and overnight lows fall back into the teens.
Well, that's what you get here in the Northland, right?
You get that fall, spring, that gets your hope up, and then second winter comes to call.
All right. Thank you very much, Dave. After 7 months, a task force is sharing what they believe it will take to reach a strong financial future for Duluth Spirit Mountain. And that presentation is being given to the Duluth City Council tonight. The task force was created in June 2020 as the ski hill and recreation area was already financially struggling and COVID-19 was only making matters worse. Along with suggesting different business and leadership models, the group said it will take significant capital investment to boost revenue. They suggested updating old chairlifts, the Skyline Chalet building, and skiing and mountain biking trails. The task force also recommended the city continue investing tourism tax dollars into Spirit Mountain, but did not mention a specific dollar amount. Officials with Spirit Mountain acknowledged they need to be held accountable for their spending.
And that Spirit needs to be held accountable for performing with the use of those funds, and to be strategic in how they use those funds.
And City Councilor Eric Forsman, one of the task force leaders, says the city gets back almost $19 for every $1 of tourism taxes spent at Spirit Mountain.
But without having that data, it was really hard to justify why we were going to increase the tourism tax allocation. But now we know that we're getting a lot of bang for our buck with the right plan and the right leadership. Could be, at a break even or even at a profitability standpoint.
Forsman says the next steps are for the council and Mayor Larson to review the report and go from there. He encourages Duluthians to share their thoughts as well. The 2021 Iditarod Sled Dog Marathon is underway in Alaska with a couple names that'll sound pretty familiar to us Northlanders. Duluth's Gunnar Johnson is competing in the 1,000-mile race, and he's the former Duluth city attorney, and it's his third Iditarod. This time, he's raising awareness for mental health, carrying a list of names of people who died by suicide. At last check, Johnson was in 14th place out of a field of 46. Meanwhile, Ryan Reddington is leading the field tonight. Reddington competed in this year's John Bear Grease Sled Dog Marathon, placing second by just 7 seconds. Reddington won the Bear Grease in 2020. The Alaska native's best Iditarod finish was 8th place last year, and we'll be keeping tabs on the race and update you along the way. Still to come, today is International Women's Day, and President Biden sent in motion actions for gender equality. Just what he signed, coming up.
Your aviation career is ready for takeoff. Join us for Lake Superior College's Aviation Open House on Friday, March 19, 3 to 6 p.m. Tour LSC's Center for Advanced Aviation and learn about exciting programs like Professional Pilot and Aviation Maintenance Technician. RSVP today.
Discover PC.net out-of-the-box experience. We transfer all your data from the old device to your new one. Install your printer, get your applications installed and set up. So when you get home, your device is ready to use. Contact us for your out-of-the-box experience.
We know it's hard to stay away from family and friends, but we're all in this together. Carleton County and the Senior Linkage Line are here with free or low-cost services to help you stay safe, sound, and supported. If you or someone you care for could use some help, please contact Minnesota's Senior Linkage Line today. Together, we can help older Minnesotans and their families and caregivers connect to local services to get the help they need.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even
even have a mask on.
Call now and get not one, not two, but 3 cool turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more cool turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real cool turtle now.
Call 1-800-379-1590. That's 1-800-379-1590 or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
March is Women's History Month, and all throughout the month on CBS3 This Morning, we'll be highlighting women in history who have made a difference. So be sure to tune in every morning at 5 a.m.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Everything that happens on a day-to-day basis in terms of news, no matter what happens in news, weather is always constant, weather is always changing as well. So it's still an important role as the meteorologist to kind of still stay grounded and to kind of just know that role and what to take and kind of just make sure you're delivering what's the most important for your viewers. But then also I like to touch base on the national things. All of those news stories also tie in with weather stories because they do go kind of hand in hand.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19, and at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
Pretty soon here, President Biden is expected to make remarks to celebrate International Women's Day at a ceremony along with the Vice President and Defense Secretary. The president has also taken executive action to promote gender equality. Natalie Brand has more from Washington.
The White House marked International Women's Day with an executive order to create a gender policy council. It comes at a time when women are disproportionately suffering from the pandemic's economic fallout.
One of the reasons that women are leaving work is, first because they're in industries that are really under stress, like hospitality, retail, but also because they have caregiving needs that they can't meet.
A second executive order asked the Department of Education to review policy changes made under the Trump administration to Title IX, the federal law prohibiting sex-based discrimination in education. One of the goals is to make sure college campuses appropriately handle allegations of sexual assault.
Every individual, every student is entitled to a fair education, free of sexual violence. All involved have access to a fair process.
The Biden administration is also marking the occasion with the historic selection of 2 women to key military command posts. The president has nominated Army Lieutenant General Laura Richardson to lead U.S. Southern Command and Air Force General Jacqueline Van Ovos to lead U.S. Transportation Command. If confirmed, it will be a first, 2 women serving as combatant commanders at the same time. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
And this morning, First Lady Jill Biden joined the Secretary of State at the 2021 International Women of Courage Awards ceremony, which honored more than a dozen women from all over the world. Honorary awards were also given to 7 Afghan women who were murdered in 2020 while serving their communities. And we'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Ask your doctor about screening options.
Update the lighting in your home today with 11% off everything now at Menards. Find your style with Patriot Lighting and choose from our large selection of lamps and accessories. Complete the look of any room with one of our matching style lamps. This Lance Tour sheer lamp comes in an oil-rubbed bronze finish with seated glass shades. Only $69.99 after 11% rebate. View all of our lighting options right now on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Holden Insurance Agency if auto owners make sense for you.
Is being challenged
challenge by DFL.
The race is on. Learn how Berkey 2021
is safe to be ice fishing on Lake Superior?
New funding is bringing more mental health resources.
Dave Anderson.
How a popular new recreational area is allowing.
Hear how one vaccination clinic in West Duluth is focusing
into the COVID-19 pandemic, and food insecurity is still
new year, new ownership.
To stay up to date with the news and weather that impacts you and your community, join us weekdays for CBS3 Live at 5.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS 3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport. Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Celebrating 30 years in business in 2021 with 30% off store-wide. Downtown Duluth.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Monday evening. The sun is setting and it was just a beautiful day out there. I hope you were able to get out there and enjoy it because it really was something else for this time of year. But before we go tonight, let's take a look back at today's top stories and see what's coming up tonight at 6. Tonight at 5, we learned the latest as the Derek Chauvin trial is in its early stages. Jury selection was pushed back until tomorrow, and opening statements aren't expected to come until March 29th. And tonight at 6, we learned more about the new COVID guidelines and vaccine openings here in the Northland. That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll see you back here tonight at 6.